Welcome to the Bobby Drew Show with your host, Bobby Drew, David, and Brian.
Yeah! Welcome to the Bobby Drew Show. I'm your host, Bobby Drew. We got Dave over there, the ESPN Tournament Challenge champ. And we got Brian over on that side. He's the sports guy. And we are excited to have the show here this evening for you. Well, it's going to be evening when we record it. What time it will be when we finish and it's posted, who knows? But we are glad that you're joining in and watching us. We just finished talking about all 32 NFL teams. We went through every single team. We each picked a player for most of the teams. There were some teams where we were like, nah, man, we ain't touching it. But tonight we have quite the show. We're talking our top 10 picks for fantasy football in the wide receivers. So this is going to be, each of us have a top 10 list of who we think is going to be the top 10 wide receivers for fantasy football season coming up. So are we going to be right? Maybe. Are we going to be wrong? Maybe. It's just like fantasy football. You put the best players in, and you just hope that they perform. That's all you can do. So, I mean, really, we're not wrong. We can't be wrong with our list. We could put whoever we want in the top 10. We don't know who's going to be top 10 until the season's over. So, technically, Dave, you can say whatever. You can say whatever kind of hoopla you want. You could put LeBron James in this list, and you still wouldn't be wrong because, I mean, he may join a team mid-season because everybody else is injured.
I'm shooting for 500. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just trying to make the playoffs. That's where,
That's always the goal. Just get in the playoffs, and you're halfway there.
Yeah,
halfway there.
Top 10.
All right, y'all. Well, let's get this thing started. Dave, I want to hear. I really do want to hear your top 10 of NFL fantasy football wide receivers. Go for it.
So first of all, I'm going to give you my top 10 players, but I'm not necessarily giving you them in order of 1 to 10 or 10 to 1 or what.
What? You have to.
You have to.
Okay, then. I will. All right. So let me say this. When I completed my list, I surprised myself by who was not on the list. And now I might be feeling regret. So I'm also going to be writing down what you guys say. That way, just in case, things may change. We still got the whole preseason and stuff for injuries. But you want my top 3 picks?
Go for it.
It's going to sound very familiar because actually I looked it up afterwards, and it's actually the top 3 from last year. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Actually, I feel like I don't think CeeDee Lamb's going to repeat. I think he's going to be in the top 10, but I don't think he's necessarily going to be number 1, so I don't know. Let's see. I've got Jamar Chase. I'm waiting for reactions. I'm just seeing, okay. Casual head nod. All right, he's not too crazy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about Drake London.
At 5?
Brian.
No way.
Brian.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're serious or not, but I think Drake London's going to go off this year. If Kirk Cousins doesn't break his Achilles again and can stay healthy, I think he's going to go off.
Yep.
So you got London at 5?
Yeah, technically he was the 5th. He's not the 5th number I wrote down or the 5th name I wrote down, but I kind of picked out names and dropped them in where I thought they should go. Justin Jefferson. Who's their quarterback this year?
We don't know yet. It could be Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters who the quarterback is. All right. A.J. Brown.
Like him.
Yeah.
He won me a
You
lot
know,
of last year.
you know what? This is where I feel like it's just me being a homer, but I got Mike Evans on my list, and
Nice.
it's just because he's so solid and consistent.
Don't
And
call him a homer. He's great.
I'm a homer.
Okay.
I'm being
Yeah.
a homer. I got Mike Evans on my list. Here's the one. This guy was barely even in the top 30 last year, but I've got Garrett Wilson at number 9.
Cool.
That is if the grass monster doesn't jump up and bite his quarterback again. I just think you can't even look at his stats last year. It just doesn't count. So I got Garrett Wilson, and then I got MHJ at number 10. I know. I might be totally off, but
All right. Whatever.
hey, college career, you look at the team he's going to,
It's your
quarterback, all this stuff. I think he could definitely maybe squeeze into the top 10.
Now you remember this is for fantasy. This isn't for reality football.
I know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I didn't say I'm going to root for them to win.
Right. No. It's
I
your
just
list.
want him to score touchdowns and catch the ball.
Right. I'm not saying your list is bad. It's your list. I'm just making sure you remember this is fantasy football.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Talk to us about your fantasy, Brian.
All right. Well, I don't know how many more my teams can win, but all right, let's see. Okay, so mine are in order from 1 to 10. Usually when you do a top list, you start at the top and go down that way. It makes it easier. So I'll give you my list of. I'll start it by saying where they finished last year, and then where I have them going this year. So my number 1 this year finished wide receiver 13 last year. His name is Jamar Chase. Why am I picking him number 1? Because Joe Burrow is back. And Burrow and Chase are a machine. So I got Jamar Chase at number 1. My number 2 wide receiver finished number 2 last year, Tyreek Hill. I think he's going to have a great year again. My number 3 wide receiver finished number 3 last year, Amon-Ra St. Brown. My number 4 finished number 1 last year, CeeDee Lamb, so I got him at 4. Number 5 finished number 27 last year, Justin Jefferson. I got him at number 5 because I think any one of us could go out there and throw a ball and he'd catch it. I mean, I'm going to be honest.
That's what I was saying. I don't think it matters as long as the quarterback's throwing the ball in his area.
He's going to do something.
Yeah.
And then my number 6 finished number 7 last year. My guy, A.J. Brown. I got him going 6. And I'm not a homer, but my number 7 finished number 4 last year, Mike Evans. I have Mike Evans finishing number 7 this year. Now, my number 8, who finished number 9 last year, and even though Stephon Diggs is on that team, I think Nico Collins is the stud. So I got Nico Collins at number 8 because of the size. And Dave will like this one. My number 9, who finished wide receiver 34 last year, Garrett Wilson. Great minds think alike, Dave. We both had him at 9.
Hey.
Yeah,
I think we're on to something, Brian. I think we might be on to something.
As long as the turf monster don't come up, you're right. And then my number 10, who finished number 14 last year, I got Devontae Adams. So I got Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Mike Evans, Nico Collins, Garrett Wilson, and Devontae Adams.
I think it's a pretty solid list so far. Hopefully,
Brian, we agreed on 8 players, not necessarily the order,
right?
But we've got the 8 of the same people in the top 10.
Yep.
And so do all of our other tens of listeners, probably, because they're the best in the NFL. So.
All right. Well, hopefully I don't mess up the mojo going on here with my top 10. Looking at the list, pretty similar. I do have, Dave, to go back to your Marvin Harrison pick, I do have some stats I just pulled up on that. I want to talk about that for a second. It's not impossible. It's not. So we'll talk about that here in a second.
That's what I'm saying.
My top 10 wide receivers for the fantasy football season this year are last season at number 3, but this season, number 1, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I have Tyreek Hill at number 2. Last season, he finished at number 2. He's going to stay there. I have number 3, finished as number 5 last season. He's going to finish as number 3, A.J. Brown. My number 4 pick was number 1 last season, C.D. Lamb. My number 5 pick was number 11 last season. I got Jamar Chase at number 5. My number 6 pick was number 7 last season, Mike Evans. My number 7 pick was number 10 at last season, and Devontae Adams. My number 8 pick from last season was number 33, Justin Jefferson. My number 9 pick was number 12 last season, is Nico Collins. And then my number 10 pick was number 26 last season in Garrett Wilson. That is my top 10. And we probably can give reasons for each one. One, Dave, you mentioned it already, is these are some of the best names in the NFL. Like Justin Jefferson, he played 10 games last season. He was injured. And then when he came back, poor old Kirk Cousins got injured, So he just had a bad season. I think right now, I've seen the report today, Sam Darnold's the unofficial starter on the depth chart. So he'll be there. So Justin Jefferson, obviously he's going to be bumped up. The Garrett Wilson one, that was the one I was talking about pre-show. I was like, man, if I put Garrett Wilson in there, you guys are going to freak out. But lo and behold, we all had Garrett Wilson there. So,
well, you put him at number 10. We had him at 9. We think he's going to do better than you think he's going to do.
Very interesting here. And you want to know why? Because Mike Williams is there now. Mike Williams was not there last season. Maybe
Mike Williams is hurt already. Come on.
Don't worry about it. Plus, Alan Lazard's there. Alan Lazard and Aaron Rodgers, they got something going on.
Alan Lazard.
But I think, Dave, I'm impressed with your list. Brian, I'm impressed with your list. How many? There's only got to be like two outliers that. Dave, let's see. You got. Oh yeah, Dave was the only one that really. It was Drake London, and Marvin Harrison that he really went out there for. Which the Drake London one, it's not. I'm not like disagreeing with it. I would probably put him at number 5 and somebody else at number or put him at number 10 and somebody else at number 5. But he could be top 10 with Kirk Cousins fully healthy. It's possible.
That's what I'm saying. His upside is huge this year.
If you really think about this, Kirk Cousins made Stephon Diggs who Stephon Diggs is today. Like, he just makes receivers good. It's crazy. And Drake London, if you sit back and you actually look at his size for a receiver, I think he is going to have a really good year. I do. I think he's going to be solid.
Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to take him. I wouldn't be afraid to draft him, maybe mid or late, but I'm not going to go too high on him. I did. It's interesting. None of us picked Stephon Diggs to be in our top 10. We picked different wide receivers from like me and Brian both got Nico Collins. Dave, did you put Nico? Nope, you didn't have him.
Yeah, he had MHJ and Drake London as his outliers.
Yeah. I think if we went top 15, Dave, you'd probably have Nico or Tank Dell in there, one of the two. But I think Nico's got it.
Well, you asked a question. This might have been before the show started. The honorable mention. Maybe that's where I should have MHJ. Because we don't know, but I mean, if he's anything like his daddy.
If I had to take, none of us had. Okay, so let's do this. In the top 10 from last season, there's some names that are in the top 10 finished last season that are not in our top 10 now. Names like Puka Nacua. Mm-hmm. He's already dealing with some injuries, but with Cooper Kupp being fully healthy, that ball's going to be stretched a little bit. You have DJ Moore. That's not going to happen because now DJ Moore ended last season as number 6, and then you have Keenan Allen at number 9. They're both on the same team now with a rookie quarterback. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Nope.
It's not. So neither one of those made our top 10s. And then Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is number 8 and from last season, and he did not make any of our lists either. So interesting switch ups there, but I think we all have a pretty formidable list there. Now, Dave, going back to your Marvin Harrison pick, real quick, our good old friend Google, I looked up, has any rookie wide receivers ever finished as a top 10 fantasy football receiver by the end of the season? And if it's not impossible. If Marvin Harrison is as talented in the NFL as he was in college, right? If he matches all the hype. So one is Odell Beckham Jr. He ended at his rookie season was wide receiver number 5. That's pretty good. Mike Evans in his rookie season was wide receiver number 10. Michael Thomas in his rookie year, he was number 9. And then we have Mike Williams. He was just outside the top 10 at top 12, but pretty close. And then anybody worth mentioning after that would be even Keenan Allen. His rookie season was only at number 17. Julio Jones was at number 17. Amari Cooper was at number 23. So you look at those names on that list, where they finished. It's very possible, and Kyler Murray could get him there possibly. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
So my thought is when a rookie is coming into the league, yeah, you can look at their college career, but how is that going to translate to the NFL? Typically, you don't see the greatness translate always, or you see a fall off because the NFL is just better. As far as talent at every position, but I think he's got a big upside. I think he's going to do good. Looking at the team he's coming into and the quarterback, and assuming everybody stays healthy, I think it'd be fun to watch.
Oh yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for the Cardinals offense between Kyler Murray, James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm pretty excited about that. Let's do this. We'll take. We all gave our top 10s, so now we'll have you guys pick between your top 10s, and don't look at your list. No cheating. Eyes up here. No looking down at your list. Let's see what you got. All right. Now I'm going to give you 2 names, and you both will pick one. Who you would pick? Let's say this is your first round pick. All right. Everybody's on the board. First round pick. Who are you taking out of these? Let's go. AJ Brown or Devontae Adams.
AJ Brown.
Same.
All right. AJ Brown or Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Ooh, okay. Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson.
Tyreek Hill.
Okay. Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Make me think. I feel like I want to say Tyreek Hill, but I think I would Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Okay. And then we'll make this. We'll go. Okay. We'll bring your list in here, Dave. We'll go Garrett Wilson or Drake London.
Drake London. Yeah.
Drake really?
I'm thinking there's more. Both of their quarterbacks had very similar injuries last year. Although one of them has had a lot more time to heal because he got injured on the first play of the game last year, or the third play or whatever. I don't know. I think Drake London.
Okay, we'll do 2 more. We got Nico Collins or Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
All right, we'll do last one here. Amon-Ra St. Brown or CeeDee Lamb.
Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra. The more I think about it, and I said this even when I gave my list, when I had Amon-Ra St. Brown at number 3, I said I feel like he could probably finish as the number 1 receiver this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely possible. The offense was lights out last season.
Yep.
So I think we just seen them kind of scrape the surface of what they possibly. That was really the Lions' first season, actually doing something. So they might even be better. Can you imagine the Lions being better? That would mean maybe they make it to the Super Bowl.
That'd be awesome. Go Lions. You got to be happy for.
What a time to be alive. The Detroit Lions.
What a time to be alive.
This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, y'all. Well, that was our top 10 wide receivers for the fantasy football season. We do have merch. Click the link below, and you can see our shirts that we got. If you want one of those mugs that Dave's holding over there, then you just got to DM us on any of our social media platforms, and we will get that worked out for you. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Obviously, subscribe and like on YouTube. We're on Facebook as well, at The Bobby Drew Show. That's all we got for you here. Have fun in fantasy football. Do some mock drafts. Get educated. Or you can just watch our episodes and you'll be educated more than anybody else in your league. Simple as that. Thank you guys for joining. God bless.
Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of The Bobby Drew Show. Be sure to follow us on all of our social medias at The Bobby Drew Show.